guiding light is all I know. Through wood and steel, through fire and lace, I'm blessed to walk within your grace. Is to a throig arcane. You laid the path before me. You guided every step. Raise the hammer, string the bow. Her gift is all I need to know. Through toil and trial, through heart and hand, her grace builds up this mighty land. Is the glass the dead time it's sore? Don't find it empty, our cry is near. By the grace of the goddess we are free. We'll build the land, our hearts within. From dawn till dusk, I work, I strive. With your blessing, I'll survive. The loom, the forge, the sword, the grain in your name, I rise again. Futsa and Nirt, Futsa and Shield, got Bua, got Tolan, got Trio. In you lies strength, in you lies skill. Each victory, each talent, each trial. Great, no skill too small. Your gifts, dear goddess, guide us all. Gandus jolas, mila truar. Ahledulaim, fade our nights into falls. Without your light, we have no guide. But with your hand, our place abide. String the bow. Her gift is all I need to know. Through toil and trial, through heart and hand, her grace builds up this mighty land. Is the grass the dead time it's sore? Don't find it undear, our greatest deed. By the grace of the goddess we are free. We'll build the land, our hearts within. To walk within your grace, blessed by her grace, forever, forever.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Pax Dei Early. We are looking at the Art of Adaptation tonight. Amongst change. Yeah, I'm looking at a map because we can do some quick fine tuning of the world of Pax Dei, and it seems like the developers are moving into verse 3. Well, what does that mean for everyone? Well, players know every time we go into a different verse, they do wipes. So they wipe the world, which means all our characters will get wiped to a point, and then we'll be put into a new, or shuttled into a new shard, which is another world, and we'll build again. Whether this time, I believe they're leaving all the craft skills up, and that's fine. Some weapon skills might lose some levels. There's a little bit. It's a major update. That's why they wipe it. But for the most part, just to go in their statement, quote, "We are making substantial changes to the world, the gear and crafting progression," which in a future Discord note, they back off on that last thing, but let me go with the quote. I'll get the quote out and then I'll talk after it. We are making substantial changes to the world, gear and crafting progression, along with combat skills for verse 3. And we cannot. All right, that's weird. My Discord just went away. All right, that was just odd. Anyway. And we cannot deploy those changes without a wipe. This wipe is also a good opportunity to remove all inactive plots and, quote, ghost towns. So basically, it's a spring verse 3 update. They said they were going to do it for a long time now. There's going to be some major changes. The world geography will change. There'll be more heartlands, aka home valleys, per province. We have all our placed plots. Like I said, they reset the whole thing. So people's placed plots will get removed and we'll have to find another location in the new world. All of our belongings on the plot and in my inventory will be removed. All gear worn by your character will disappear. Plans will be wiped and need to be recreated. All character combat skills will be reset. Crafting skills may be partially or fully reset. And that's still being discussed. And that was a statement back in on 5.2. By the time they finished announcing by 5.5, they were thanking us for the passion and feedback around verse 3. So it was perfect, right? They were reading our comments and looking at our roleplay shards. And basically, they reiterated, for the next wipe, we plan to open 1 shard per region. This is a change, but it is also a deliberate one. Each shard will now support a higher capacity, which allows us to gather more players in a single shard to enhance the gameplay experience. Essentially, one of their problems with verse 2, they weren't able to have a lot of people on a map. So it really slowed. When they had a lot of people, it slowed. There was a lot of frames missing, et cetera, et cetera. So they felt they needed to address that. And I believe if they did it properly and they were looking, right, they were actively looking to do it, I think it'll be a better experience for everybody. So that said, this is them. We may open additional shards if existing ones filled up. We can't promise when or if that will happen. And the reason being is they had a workforce reduction. They had to lay people off, for those people in the corporate vocabulary. So not a great big deal, but enough where the well, it's a big deal for people who got laid off. No, I'm not throwing shade that way, because a lot of good people, they went from 65 people, programmers, developers, to 43. This game is so large, I would have expected like 500 developers to make this game absolutely premium. These guys, 60 people, 65 people, are amazing. These coders, and even the companies, like, it's not because we don't want them. They poured their heart and souls into the game already. It's just financially they can't make ends meet. Right now they're in development, so really it's just simply a negative on the budget sheet. I get it. So again, no shade. I wish well for the developers. Developers are going to be great somewhere else. I'm not too worried about where they'll land on their feet. I'm just sad that they won't be developing for Pax Dei, because honestly, all the developers, haven't met any, but from what I've interacted with in the game, the development of the game is primo. It's awesome. Anyway, as for the they go on to say, as for the role playing specific shards, the original intent was to test whether the interest was strong enough to have some worlds specifically marked RP based. On what we've seen, we believe there is. So we're likely to open RP shards at release. This is an MMORPG. Just saying. Guys, developers, seriously. It's a role-playing game. Now, to be fair, they do address role players in a non-role playing shard. And what does that mean? Well, they understood that some of the people were concerned about the potential for trolling or disruptive behavior, their words, on a non-RP shard. And their words, unfortunately, these issues can appear on any shard type. And they're right. Absolutely. 100%. It's not even, it shouldn't even be they had to say it out loud, but it shouldn't have been said out. Any player, anybody who's played MMORPGs for any amount of time knows that, period. That said, this is their words again. That said, also seen RP clans thriving on non-RP shards. They're confident that many of us will continue to find ways to build meaningful, immersive experiences together. As always, code of conduct applies, yada, yada, yada. To the role-playing community, to help the role-playing community coordinate, they're opening a dedicated thread called RP Community on Discord, where RP clans and players can plan together, choose their regions, province, and home valley, and regroup ahead of the wipe. We're also sharing updated maps showing the revamped provinces to make life easier. So they shared the maps in that update on the 5th. And then, of course, as I was saying, on the 6th, they actually mentioned the layoffs. And then on the 7th, they were telling some things that are going to change, like items, all leatherworking, tailoring, and blacksmithing gear, and all wieldables will be gone. Jewelry and founders items remained. And then they go through some relics. Relics are anything like furry collar stones, carved collar stones. These are things you get off of your kills, your hunts from either NPCs or animals, depending on the level of the animal, like a dire wolf or a bear, right? The relic that was previously accessible could make a comeback, which is a tattered locket. So they're may bring some things back and may get rid of other things. Standard development balancing. I don't think anything's really a surprise here. And then they actually have a few relics that should never have been accessible, and that won't be removed in verse 3 could become useful. So there was a select few, like cubic ethereal crystals you got from certain kills at certain high level monsters. But essentially they said we don't. As a reminder, all items that are removed will be refunded to the players as resources. So the things that we do have, for example, we get out of the map, and if you look at this is my wipe package, so I'll go through here and probably take as much as I can out because there's a lot of cool things here. Not everything. Oh, I have barley flour. This is what I mean. I have barley flour and I didn't even realize it. Barley flour is used for a lot of different things, so I have to get that into a chest. I'm not too worried about the tool sets because they're basic. Anything basic, I'm not really worried about. Blackberry. Ooh, got a lot of blackberries. I didn't realize I had that many blackberries. So I'll probably move those out. The bladder companions for sure. Oh, bladder companion asterisk. Oh my god. Got a relic. Good stuff that I had in the last world. Let me go through that and Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna just start boxing stuff, because this part will be more than likely this will be gone. Oh, look at all that clay. Golly. I'm just doing nothing for myself. I need to look at this. Wow. Yeah, this is what I get for not looking. So what I'll probably do is create as many chests as possible. As a matter of fact, I'll probably use these chests right here. Oh, I didn't want to do that to the deer carcass. God, there's so many deer carcass. Let's see. Definitely get the elderberries. I'll get longsword. I don't really need this though. Slash is 28. I don't know. Let me look at it. But I'm going to be putting these in the boxes. I had construction hammers here. Why don't I just grab one up here? Here we go. That way I can build everything real quick. Cotton fiber, not too bad. Cracked sigils. Grain flour action. I just say I got a lot of stuff I need to put in these cases, because during the wipe, all this goes away, right? They're not going to give me the opportunity to just keep these. Ooh, the fine wool yarn. Come on, what am I doing? Oh my goodness, just not doing anything here for myself. Yeah, I'll just put everything in boxes, as many boxes as I can make, and that's what I'll do. Look at this inferior leather. Ah, so many iron arrowheads. I don't really need iron. Wrought iron arrowheads are better. Iron chopping, don't need that. But you know what? I'm gonna put everything in here as much as possible. And I am definitely gonna get anything that's storage and build it. So that way I get the materials. More will have to come out. That's a good ingredient for a couple different things. Yeah, I'll go through this here in a second after I build all the chests. And I will be, I'm looking at pure glass. Golly. I am just wasting all this stuff. Crazy. Well, not crazy. Just me. Much rough glass. That's a lot of string. Oh, rye flour. God, rye grain. Jeez. How about sand? Sapling. Lots of sapling. Gee whiz. That right there alone, I could be making coal left and right. All right, let's get everything into I'll use the second floor for now, and I'll put everything in there. Got steel ingots. Jeez, that's a lot of steel ingots. There's chairs. Okay. Well, I'm glad I took a look at this, because I'd hate to lose all of these. That's a lot of stuff. This is all my otherworldly stuff, so. Look at that, wrought iron axes. I mean, I thought I'd have to make them. Nice. Look at that, wrought iron studs. Wrought iron reinforced chests. All right, let's go start putting this stuff in the upstairs, and we'll get into what is the meat of the conversation tonight. Honestly, is the where is it? The Art of Adaptation, thriving amidst change. And basically, it's more of the same on the I'm trying to think here for a second. All right, you know what? I'm gonna bring some beams. Beams. Thank you. Need some beams and planks. Beam. Some fine beams. Fine planks. Planks. I need. What else do I need? Those there. I need more fine beams, yeah. I need some pegs too. There we go. Figs. There we go. That should do me. I'll come back down if I need any more. Basically, what I'm doing is doing some of these kind of tiers. So, because I have a lot of chests. I'm not losing all these chests. I mean, grilling 70 chests, I actually have. That's alright though. I'm not gonna lose any. First chests. And let's do the they're in a chest. Oh. There we go. Make it look okay, even though I don't really need it to look great. And I'm literally not going to care about the actual look of it, because, like I said, this is just supposed to allow me to traverse verse 3. Yeah, I can put all these things in there. Good. All right, and that's what I'll pretty much do the entire time. So let's get into the art of adaptation, thriving amidst change. What a great topic for the timing couldn't be better with the verse changing pretty much everything. So we're continuing our journey in this like epic series that I'm doing, where we explored critical thinking, resilience, resourcefulness, and other facets of personal growth and philosophy. I'm excited to dive into this theme, and it touches every aspect of life. Adaptation. You're gonna see it firsthand here in Pax Dei, because I'm going to have to adapt. I'm gonna have to adapt with the new. Actually, you know what? No, I could probably. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Hold on. How many can I fit like this? I'm already fitting more. I saw this done in a couple different areas, but I never really wanted to do it. I don't know why. It's fine. I mean, I get 4 versus 3. I'll just take all in that, you know. I'll do is continue, because I can do this. I think that means right. How far back do I have to go? No, I'm not gonna do that. Let's just see where I can go with this. Might be able to get forward here. No. Because I have to put see this right here. And one pro tip, if you're gonna do this and you want a measurement, always use a something it'll snap to, and you'll never go wrong. Never go wrong. Should be able to. There we go. Why it's yellow? It's weird. Not sure why it's yellow. Interesting. So what I'll do here is really want to. I need to bring it up like so. And easy peasy. There we go. And I could actually probably add a third one here. All this to keep my stuff. Nah, I don't know. Let me do that. Let's see if I can. Can I build it? I don't think so. No? Yeah. If I can do it. Nice. All right. Well, I'll continue to do that like that. Anyway, at any rate, as the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus famously said, "There's nothing permanent except change." Paraphrased, obviously, not a direct translation. That was true around 2,500 years ago, and it's even more true now, especially in our fast-paced modern. Change is all around us. Whether we shift into our, whether it's a shift in our personal life, upheavals in our professional landscape, or evolving dynamics in the games we play for fun. The challenge, and the art lies in how we respond to these changes. If you notice my tone for the verse 3, I honestly don't. What's a good way of stating it? I don't mind it. Either way, because what am I missing? 5 blocks. Okay. Because if what I'm really doing is testing the game for the developers, I know this isn't permanent. When we start the game, and if we start the game and I'm like, you know what? This is going to be awesome. I'm going to build this and it's going to last forever. going against everything I'm going to talk about tonight. But during the first version, everything should be a lot more solidified, right? There shouldn't be as much volatility as the development. So really, I'm taking it not as a grain of salt or anything to that, nothing that dramatic. But I definitely want to understand, or I understand, I should say, that change is coming. How I react to it is going to be the measure of how things are going to pan out for me. Because I can complain. I can be like, oh, I can't believe you're going to take all my stuff. Yeah, that is a possibility. I could well, a definite. I could definitely say all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're going to get a good game out of it. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. Right? So I'm not, super upset or anything. Change is inevitable, right? Only certainty is change. I hate when I do that to myself. You get into the view and you're like, let's see. I could have spaced them out a little bit better, but honestly, I don't care. This isn't, like I said, this is not a, what am I missing? Huh. Why won't that let it sit there? All right, I'm weirded out by that. There's a hitbox somewhere. I don't know where. I'll figure it out later. Right now, I just want to sit these things down as much as possible. There we go. All right. So we can look at adaptation from multiple angles, right? Well, we're going to. From personal life changes like moving cities or starting new careers to professional transformations in the workplace and industries, and even to the virtual realms of MMORPGs, where digital worlds themselves are constantly in flux. We've been talking about it this whole, last half hour. Along the way, we'll draw some wisdom from the ancient philosophy and modern thinkers alike, blending insights from Stoic sages and Buddhist monks with the voices of contemporary leaders and even pro gamers. But excuse me. But adaptation is not just about going with the flow. It's about knowing when not to change. Sometimes the wisest course is holding on to the core values or proven methods. So we won't just celebrate change blindly. We'll also discuss those critical moments when resisting change or standing firm is beneficial, whether it's sticking to a personal principle or maintaining a brand's identity. We'll also face the human side of change. Adapting can be tough. It can stir up anxiety, uncertainty, or even ethical dilemmas. Think about workers facing layoffs because of automation. There's an emotional toll and a moral complexity there. Or imagine a gamer feeling alienated after their favorite game introduces aggressive monetization. The landscape changed, and not for the better. How do we cope with these kinds of changes? We'll talk about the emotional resilience and the ethical considerations that come with adapting or not adapting. I cannot believe I cannot put these here. That is so not cool. All right, we'll just continue to build them out on the bottom. Like I said, it doesn't have to be pretty. I just need storage so I don't lose any of the ingredients that I currently have. I'll deal with the fallout after. What I should do is ensure I build it out the way it should be. What am I missing now? I'm with peeps. Gee whiz. Glad I had these things. Hopefully they fixed the fog. And yes, I built this house all by my lonesome. Nobody helped. Which it's not a brag, honestly, in a massive multiplayer online game. So you're telling us without telling us you have no friends. No, I have friends, but I've never joined a clan, and that's one of the things that I really got to work on in the next iteration, because I think I have a couple people aligned actually with becoming clan members. So I need this here. And snaps to geometry, so it's hard to see how bad it is. Ah, it's not too bad. All right, cool. It's all right. Good there. I thought it would be worse, honestly. That's okay. Let me do this real quick, and then we'll get back into the conversation. Cannot build here. Yeah. Whatever. Let's see where I can put these. I think it's because of the windows. If I turn them like this, I bet you I can. It shouldn't be because of the. Am I lower by just a little bit? I think I am. It should have snapped. No, I'm not. Okay, anyway. I'll figure it out later. Where else do I want to put these chests? Let's put them here. Ah, I got so many of these things. I didn't realize how many I built in the last world. These are the cheapies. You can build these pretty much with wood, essentially. Okay. So that brings us to that. All right. So where are we? Oh my goodness. Okay. I had to look at my notes here, guys. Sorry about that. All right. So, and of course, this wouldn't be Pax Dei, the search for steel, if we don't get a little bit of practicality, right? The thought channel, if you will. God, I can't remember my tagline on my channel. Let's look it up. The foundry of thought and sound. Sure. Anyway, we'll share some concrete tools and techniques to strengthen your adaptability, from mindfulness practices that help you stay grounded during turbulent times, to agile frameworks that teams use to manage change, to strategies gamers use, like reading patch notes and switching up playstyles. We've got a wealth of tips here to make adaptation not just a theory, but a tangible skill you can hone, that you should hone. Throughout the episode, you'll hear diverse voices chiming in. We'll bring ideas from people like Brené Brown on vulnerability and change, Satya Nadella on leading through transformation, psychologists who study how humans cope with upheaval, and insights from the world of esports, where adaptation can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Whether you're here for physiological insight, for your body, no, excuse me, philosophical insight, personal motivation, or some good stories to think about as you quest through your favorite game. Hello to our listeners grinding away right now in Pax Dei or any other MMO as they listen. There will be something in this episode for you. And speaking of Pax Dei, if you're not familiar, what I'm playing is Pax Dei. It's in early access, like I said. We're going to verse 3, or that's the chapter we're going to go to. And we're going to continue playing the game until... And it's not a faint of heart MMORPG. This game in early access has an infinite amount of possibilities, both in role-playing and just normal gaming. You can create, as a player, an adventurer's guild. You, as a player, can create a merchant's guild or a merchant's company. There are so many things that you can create, especially when you get into 1.0. Right now, in this one, I'll tell you right now, I am not the normal player. I'm almost level 30 in almost all of my skills right now. Save maybe 5. But understand, this is not normal. If somebody's going to concentrate on baking, they're going to be a baker. If they concentrate on fighting, they're going to be an adventurer. They can buy their weapons and armor from an armorsmith or a weaponsmith or a blacksmith. They don't have to make things themselves. Carpentry, you'll get carpentry up. Everybody's going to be a carpenter, in my opinion. You're also going to be a woodcutter, because anything you're going to do with carpentry, you're going to do with woodcutting. Leatherworking, possibly not. You'll skin a lot. There's a skinning. There is definitely a skinning skill. Not many people are going to be alchemists, right? You're going to have to go out of your way to become an alchemist, or even a tailor. You're going to buy from adventurers who go out and gather resources and sell them to the bakers, to sell them to the tailors, etc. This game has so many possibilities. And it's just no joke, guys. This is amazing. This is going to be an amazing game. Absolutely phenomenal game. Once people start to capture the possibilities. Without the possibilities to capture, yeah. Why? Oh, no. That's fine. What am I looking for? Razor. There it is. Not hard. I always do that to myself. Oh my god. Stop it. There we go. And then I can make the brazier. There. So, like I was saying, Pax Dei features a community-driven fantasy world where players have a lot of freedom to shape the environment and experiences. And you'll see as I play what possibilities there can be and what possibilities there might not be. So keep that in mind as we're playing through this. I don't want to mislead you. But I love that. I think it's going to be the closest thing to an online D&D you can possibly, or Pathfinder you can possibly get. There we go. We get all that part of the stuff. I can't use those. Well, I can use those, but it's kind of pointless. Anyway, so you'll find a comfortable spot. Find a comfortable spot, or keep doing what you're doing while you're if you're multitasking. I do the same thing when I listen to podcasts. This episode's designed to be enjoyed even if you're in the middle of a raid or commute or work. We have a fascinating journey ahead of us. By the end, I'm hoping that you not only understand adaptation better, but I want you to feel more empowered to navigate changes in your own life. So let's get right into it. Let's get into the art of adaptation, thriving amidst change. So change is not a new phenomenon that only modern humans struggle with. It's been a fundamental aspect of existence pondered by thinkers for millennia. Ancient philosophies across cultures recognize the importance of adapting to life's ebbs and flows. Heraclitus, whom we quoted earlier, believed in pantaria, or everything flows. He observed that you cannot step into the same river twice, because new waters are always flowing in. It's a poetic way to say everything is in constant change. But to Heraclitus, being aware of this ever-present flux was key to wisdom. Similarly, the Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece and Rome were keenly aware of impermanence. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and the Stoic sage, wrote in his Meditations, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." In other words, change is a given. What matters is how we perceive and respond to it. He also advised, essentially, to adapt yourself to things among which your lot has been cast. The Stoics taught that while we can't control external events, we can certainly control our own attitudes. This is a kind of inner adaptation. If a storm comes, you may not stop the storm, but you can adjust your mind to the weather or to weather it with tranquility. For example, if fate deals you an unexpected hardship, a Stoic would encourage finding a way to accept and respond rather than waste energy denying reality. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." That ethos is at the heart of adaptation. In the East, we find similar wisdom. Buddhist philosophy centers on the concept of impermanence. Panacea in Kale. Everything is transient. Yeah, transient. Our youth, our possessions, even our mountains eventually wear down. The Buddha taught that clinging too tightly to things as if they were permanent is a source of suffering. Well, 19. We gotta do something here. Oh, that's what I should have done. Ooh, not there. I leaped before. What I should have done is put all this stuff in the end, and I'll just put everything here. So I don't have to travel back down for it. There we go. And I gotta look at each thing, so I can't really take inventory every time. 13? Really? So what do I need to do? Let's see. Do I need to gather any resources? While I'm doing this? Probably not, honestly. Let me think about it. I could probably go get some gold. That's killing me. Yeah, let's go get some gold as we're learning about adaptation. Let's see, which pants do I want? Yeah. I want that one, that. And all of that. Take these. What gloves? I believe I have gloves. That one of them. And that's pauldrons. I have better pauldrons there. Yeah, I have moonshine pauldrons. So let's go ahead and there we go. What did I do? Now I have okay. Darn it. I usually transform into this knightly figure. But I don't know why. Oh, there it is. Yeah, found cave. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's bring that puppy. I'll bring that, but I really don't need that. The armies. Yeah, let's bring the armies on. I don't really need that. Two-handed spear for sure. I do have one spear. One-handed spear, I'll bring that. I shouldn't need another shield. Should I bring another shield? Yeah, let's bring another shield. They usually go fairly quickly. I don't want that one. The other. Longbow is fine. Let's eat. Hit points with healing. And we're setting ourselves up for monstrous time. What else do I need? So many weapons. So time. Bring this just in case. Maybe I'll be able to work it out a little bit. I need to work on my base and my axe anyway. And I'll bring some booze. Oh. And pro tip, if you're using a bow, bring an axe. I'm going for gold, so I really shouldn't need any inventory. But the axe will allow me to fell a tree and get some wooden arrows, which is always good. Alright, where am I heading? Yeah, let's go this way. Okay. So, as a matter of fact, Buddha taught that clinging too tightly to things as if they were permanent, if they were permanent, is a source of suffering. It makes you suffer to hold on to material things, right? Or things in general. The more we accept change is natural, the less we suffer when change happens. So if we take change as natural, then we don't suffer when change happens. We're not tied to the absolute, the now, right? This doesn't mean to be mean being passive. It means cultivating inner flexibility, and it's a mindset that allows us to experience change, even painful change, without breaking. Think of a tree in a storm. The rigid oak might snap in a hurricane, whereas the supple reed bends and survives. In fact, an old Chinese proverb states that the green reed, which bends in the wind, is stronger than the mighty oak, which breaks in the storm. Taoist philosophy reinforces this idea of resilience through flexibility. Lao Tzu, in the Tao Te Ching, emphasizes flowing with the currents of life. He compares the best human qualities to water. Water adapts to any shape. It can be gentle or forceful, and always finds a way to keep moving. Figure out which direction I'm going to go while my health goes up because I moved in order. Okay. Let me do this. There we go. So the image of water was later echoed, right, by martial artist and philosopher Bruce Lee in modern times. Bruce Lee famously said, "Empty your mind, be formless like water, or be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Be water, my friend." It was pretty, I think he said that on the Ed Sullivan show. It was a pretty remarkable statement during the 60s. I think it was the 60s, early 70s maybe. But it was revolutionary in the United States at that point. I mean, not many people were taught a Taoist philosophy. And he was speaking about martial arts, but also life, the need to remain fluid and ready to shift as circumstances require. The notion to be like water captures the essence of adaptation beautifully. If you think about it, I could take that bear, but I'm going to take damage. Well, not a lot of damage, but like a shield will. Really, I just want to go get some gold. Anyway, nature itself offers perhaps the most convincing argument for adaptation. The theory of evolution, formalized by Charles Darwin in the 19th century, showed that species survive over a long run, not by sheer strength or intelligence alone, but by adaptability. There's a popular quote often attributed to Darwin. "It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most adaptable to change." Whether Darwin phrased it that way exactly or not, it's a great summary of his findings. And I can't remember who said it actually, but he was summarizing Darwin's findings. So it wasn't Darwin himself who said that, but so if you do some research on this topic, which I highly advise, because why listen to me, guy on the internet, without having a ooh, I missed that one, huh? I didn't want to bring out two of them. Two is hard. He got. I gotta deal with this guy who's freaking tearing up my shield. I did that to myself. I walked right into that one too. Oh my goodness. And I pulled two of them, which was a mistake in the first place. Not happy with that. Anyway. At any rate, gold is what I'm after. It didn't say whether the gold, but that's alright. So basically, over generations, creatures that adjust to changes in their environment, like climate shifts or new predators, scarce resources, they're the ones that thrive. As long as you're running, you're good to go. He can't hit you for some reason, and I'm okay with that. I didn't think I was that close, but I'll take it. Okay. All right. If you do this right and you have a strategy, you'll be fine. If you do this wrong and you don't have a strategy, good luck. Anyway. So basically, those who stay rigid and refuse to change, inevitably, they're declining. Human beings are no exception. Our ancient ancestors survived ice ages and migrations by being innovative and adaptable, making tools, clothing, shelter, and social systems that fit the new challenges. Humans who could eat new foods, explore new lands, or cooperate in new ways are the ones who made it. In our DNA, we are built to adapt. So from the perspective of both philosophy and biology, adaptability is a virtue, and even, dare I say, a necessity. The ancient Stoics would say it's wise to accept and adjust what we cannot change. Eastern sages would say that it's enlightened to flow with change rather than resist reality. And scientists would say it's practical, a key to survival. Yet even with all this wisdom handed down to us, change can still feel intimidating. Recognizing that change is constant is one thing. Dealing with it in real life is another. We're creatures of habit, in many ways. We find comfort in familiarity. We seek familiarity. In fact, our brains form habits and routines to help make the world feel stable. So there's a tension. On the one hand, the world is always changing, but on the other, we humans often crave steadiness. This tension is at the heart of why adaptation can be an art to practice. We must balance our need for stability with the reality of change. Can anybody in the chat argue that statement? or not argue it, but can you relate to? Because it's there really isn't an argument here. It's mostly it's a statement, right? Nope. You gotta watch that triple attack. You probably get more gold going somewhere else, but this guy hurts. What the heck was that? That's a spell. Not that I don't know this spell. Luckily, it didn't do too much to me. I still don't know the spell. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see if I can get this guy up on my ramparts without going in at all. There we go. He should be back in that area there. Where'd he go? Is he smart? Did he increase the AI? Not by much. See if it walks back there. What do you think? There we go. Too high. There we go. Notice my accuracy with this bow is, I like how they made it a little bit inconsistent. I'm not moving my aim. There we go. But maybe he's moving a little bit? Maybe. I'm taking high risk shots here too oh, no. There we go. Let's hope I don't trigger the guys to my right. I think I can get this guy without throwing the other guy. Oh, come on now. How is that? Do not like that. Not knowing is worse than actually. Let's see what this guy does. He should fire back, right? Man. It's easy to see that 1-3 attack because he'll come over his head with the first attack, and you'll be able to back up enough where it's not a big deal. Okay, anyway. So, by reflecting on these long-standing ideas, right, we can, from Heraclitus to Lao Tzu to Darwin, we set the stage for our discussion. They remind us that change is deeply woven into the fabric of existence, and adapting to change is a timeless skill. With this philosophical foundation, we can better explore how adaptation, plays out in our personal lives, our work, and even our games. But before we move on, it's worth noting one more thing. All these philosophies also value discernment. Heraclitus and Marcus Aurelius didn't suggest that everything should change, or we have to like every change. They meant we must be aware of the change and respond wisely. Keep that thought in your mind, in the back of your mind. Adaptation is not about mindless flexibility or never having principles. It's about knowing when to bend and when to stand firm. That's the theme we'll revisit later. As a matter of fact, what we'll do is we'll take this for tomorrow's podcast, and I will do the adaptation in personal life and begin directly on that line of thinking. Because it's a good place to stop, and we're an hour and a half in, or it would be if I continued. Ooh. Did he miss, or did I just totally screw up? I'm a really good swordsman, so just keep that in mind. And I have a really good sword. I actually bought this sword because I didn't make the sword. Again, the game is about leveraging professions. Sometimes it'll be good to do. Sometimes it won't. Am I too close to somebody else? Where the hell did that come from? See the arc of the arrow. I don't see the guy firing the arrow. Yeah. It's not that guy over there. Okay, that was weird. I was not happy with that. Anyway. Yeah, we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow, but I think adaptation is so important that I really don't want to minimize the amount of time or rush through a topic, since we're starting with personal, and we've created the foundation for tonight, right? That's the biggest takeaway for tonight is we take it we take the foundation and we'll build upon the foundation, right? And we're going to take from philosophies from everywhere, so just keep that in mind as we're continuing down this path of the entire podcast. Honestly, we want to I was going to go in there guns blazing. I was getting hit by something. Oh well. We'll head out. Anyway, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you the home valley teleport. Adaptation's such an important skill. It's when we get to workplace, I'll probably say this more than once, and that'll probably be on Sunday. I really have to get into interview and resumes because it's so important to market yourself, but also be able to navigate the change that you're wanting to do. Whether you're kind of forced to do it, meaning you were laid off, workforce reduction. That's a different story, but you're still needing to, you're still needing to adapt to the change that occurred, that you're initiating or is being thrust upon you, if you will. And by the way, if you guys haven't fell in love with this game yet, I mean, I don't know what I can do to get you to do this. Watch this. This is great. This is a low level area, so I'm just gonna go in here. I can't see. Yeah, let's do it. They're not going to do much hit points to me. So I'm just gonna go right through them. There's no strategy in the home valley once you have this amount of armor and this type of weaponry. You're just going through here just to collect money. You still don't want to get hit by it. Like, it takes 3 swings, where the other one took like 6 or 5. Wow, did 100 with that. That's crazy. Really? Whatever. I was doing something. Oh, I'm still crouched. Running. It's like these guys are just so low level right now. But I'm getting like I want to say like 3 gold, 3 to 4 gold per. I'm okay with that. I need gold. And the bashing thing. I didn't think I'd take him out that easy. It's always good to practice your blocking and stuff, but you don't have to. Notice I'm not using any arrows here. It's kind of pointless on this type of encampment. With, again, I'm pretty high level. I've been playing since September at least, August, September of last year. So this game is definitely a game of you need to. Let's do this. There we go. And take him out with 1 hit. Okay. And that's all I got for there. Okay, so that's all we're gonna do for tonight. And I shouldn't have got too much. Yeah, I didn't get in too much crap. I'm just gonna go home, and then we'll pick up tomorrow where we left off. Adaptation. Again, critical thinking, all these layers that I'm trying to build and give you a nice foundation. I'm only spending a few hours on each. To be fair, that's not enough. You need to, my recommendation is go out. You have AI, let it. AI is not right all the time, but that's even practice for your critical thinking skill. Ask several AIs and see if they come to the same conclusion. If they do, go ahead and research it without AI and see if you come to a different conclusion. It's like a conclave of the minds, right? I mean, essentially what you're doing is you're assessing or researching critical thinking through a topic. It's a lifelong skill, and you should be teaching this to your kids if you have them. You're teaching this to your friends as well. There is no scenario where these skills that I'm trying to provide to you aren't a absolute necessity in life. As a matter of fact, I went so far as to redesign education, because I think institutional education may be the incorrect path for humans. It was great during the Industrial Revolution, but let's think about what I just said. The Industrial Revolution was, we need people that can read, write to a certain degree. And that's it. That's all they needed. What were bells in schools? Well, a lot of people noted that the bells basically provided a teaching mechanism for the shift change bell in a majority of factories. So please keep this in mind when you're critical thinking. It's so important. Adaptability, paramount. Adaptability. You might have heard. I mean, let's go through all the conspiracy theories, and some that are if you believe them, you need adaptability to get through them. I mean, just one. Let's just for conversation's sake. An asteroid hitting the Earth. Well, what happens? Well, it hits the Earth, and you have to adapt. Life will change, depending on how big the asteroid, where it hits, how hard or how fast it impacts the Earth. There's a lot of different aspects to it, but this is adaptability. This is critical thinking. Are you going to believe the news? Is it advantageous for you to believe anyone you meet? Or is it more advantageous for you to critically think through the situation first and then make a decision informed? Sometimes you have limited time. The more practice you have with critical thinking, adaptability. What's the other ones? Jeez, let me I know you hit something if I critical thinking, resilience, resourcefulness. Resilience, asteroid impact, right? Or anything. Resilience after adaptability or during adaptability. How resilient are you? Please. I try to hit everything, but I don't. I don't hit any. I don't hit near what you should be using or needing to know. A lot of people will say, well, philosophy, what good is that? What good is that going to do for me? Well, my channel's trying to bring you a very apparent reality. The ancients knew this already. A lot of things about change, about a lot of different things. I just put out a short today with Galileo. How if he were to have just gone with orthodoxy or dogma, we would have never came out of the Dark Ages. And just to note, ask yourself, did we know as a species, as humans, that the Earth was in the center of the solar system or the universe before the Dark Ages? Great question to research. You'll be surprised at the answer. How about the spherical Earth? Would it surprise you that the Aztecs and the Egyptians knew that the Earth was spherical? I didn't do any research on that particular topic for the Chinese or the Asian cultures, but I wouldn't doubt there is somebody back in their philosophy and in their great thinkers that knew that the Earth was round. So, with all that said, I'm back at the old homestead. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We will be back tomorrow. I do other aspects of my channel, like the Elysian, I think it's Elysian Echo, I think I called it. But it's my, what do we call that? My music channel. I do music videos. I'm working on one now, hopefully. That one will be done in the next week or so, called Effortless Motion. Sounds really good. It's really cool. The video is going to be very mellow. Effortless Motion is basically Wu Wei. We're talking about adaptation and the different, like, water, be water. Wu Wei, effortless motion, meaning let go around things. Don't let things hold you or keep you stationary for too long. But anyway, great song. Hopefully that comes out 2 weeks. I do have a couple out there already. I thought Deadlines and Broken Clocks is my ode to project management or sales. Go for it. Whatever, however it applies to you. I thought that was a really good one. And the one previous to that was, or the one after that one. What did I just do? No, it was Deadlines and Broken Clocks. There was one before that. Check them out. They're all on my YouTube channel. I do post this on Rumble when I do get a chance. Like tomorrow, I'll post this episode on Rumble. And then we'll do 139, episode 139 tomorrow night. Be happy if you join me live, but you don't have to. If you're listening to the replay, heartfelt, thank you. And as I said, comments are open. Please, if you have any questions or have any comments or have anything to share, definitely do so. I'm on X as well, so if you can't get a hold of me on YouTube, which I pretty much respond to everything since I don't have that many comments in the first place, I will respond on X. Let's get a trend going. Maybe we can get people back into modern thinking and philosophy. The Age of Reason, Part 2, the sequel. Until then, be safe, everyone. We'll talk soon. Have a good night, have a good day, no matter where you are in the world or what time you're listening to this. And we will see you tomorrow.
With every step, a lesson learned. From fire's heat to the fields I've turned. The blade and bow, the forge and flame. I sharpen my skills, I play the game. Each day brings a challenge I must face. I train my hands with careful grace. From alchemy's art to the hunter's way, I'll find the strength to seize the day. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil, I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. From the herbs I find to the iron I mold, each lesson learned is a story told. The stars above, they guide my hand. As I hone my craft, I take my stand. In the quiet woods, in the mountains chill, I push myself, I shape my will. With each new tool and every lore, I'm stronger now than I was before. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil, I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. The road is long, but I won't turn back. The lessons I learned keep me on track. With each new skill, the stronger I grow. In the face of the storm, I let my courage show. I've tasted defeat, I felt the sting, but I rise again with each new spring. For knowledge is power, and wisdom the key. I'm forging my path, I'm breaking free. The skill of survival, the will to thrive. In a world where the strong survive, I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight.